title, YouTube, weird, passive-aggressive racism. And this doesn't apply to all. Just like we say in Red Pill, not all women. Because not all of them are bad, obviously. But, I don't know. I'm heading somewhere near North Dakota at this current moment. And North Dakota. And this even applies to women that are weird and passive-aggressive. And just, it's a weird nature. I'm looking for folders in Walmart and I'm grabbing food and whatnot. And I have videos and I may clip it to show you the weird. It's a hive mind mixed with racism all in one, wrapped in one. You can see the weird stares and the weird actions. And maybe it's because my energy is different from the average human being. Or maybe I'm not the ass-kissing nigga that they're used to, but they can feel it. Because slaves only feel comfortable around slaves. I don't know. But I do know that, and I know this from Texas, but Texas white people, it's not that they're good. There's a lot more good of them down there. But there's not that they're naturally good. They just know that ass whooping of any form will come immediately. Now, when people are separated from accountability of being a normal human being up north, you'll have weird actions in groups. Like only 1 to 2 white people out of this whole store walk around and grabbing what I need. We're acting normal. All of them standing in my way. I'll have to stand there for a long period of time for you to move out my way. You'll think like you just noticed me. You'll walk in front of the block. And then I start checking women like, hey, and I'll start talking to you. You're going to have to react to me. You're going to have to actually act human for once. I know, you think you're the top of the food chain, but you can't communicate. You can't look people in the eyes. You act like you're bold with your insecurities written all over. Okay, cool. That's fine. Like your males, at best, have all the traits of a female nature. And then you have one country boy that's like, I say, excuse me. He's like, hey, excuse me. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. We'll go about business. But you're not about that life. And I don't do talking. And they'll swarm on you to try to create this whole fear of like, hey, well, there's more of us. Again, I'm quite experienced in being outnumbered and still come back out on top. So I'm like, you know what, man? And I'm walking on eggshells. Like, even when it's not even my nature, I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. And they'll stop again when I'm trying to cut through to find where the folders are at. And there's another dude who looks at me, and I'm like, I'm about to walk right through his bitch ass, and he's like, and he scurries out the way, and the increased anger and disappointment and disgust look on his face. I'm like, look, dude, I'll toss your shit. I'll pile drive you to the ground, bro. Like, I can serve ass whoopings in various ways. Like, you weren't really expecting that response. It was like, because I'm a peaceful person, the hive mind, and I know I really reach on it, but it is a hive mind. A hive mind is leaning on the fact that I'll lean towards trying to keep peace in the sacrifice of my energy. It was like, no, I'll fuck you up. Like, you keep pushing that button, I'll fuck you up. Just like white people, like recently, I think within this month, gathered together to try to rush up on black people in the black neighborhood. And they found out quickly that it's not what they thought it was. No, we want peace, but we can be as savage as you want us to be. Like, as you claim that we are, to defend ourselves. We're not our ancestors, our recent ancestors. We got that shit that you fear, we got for you. That shit that you have in the back of your head for all the evil you have in your heart, it's real. But yeah, I digress. Then, and it's not that unlike white people, because white people are weird. Not all. Like I say, like I'm up near North Dakota. Like these people, like previous years, a shooter will grab guns, travel states ahead, far out to go shoot in a black neighborhood and murder people. And this has happened in multiple cases for over 100 years, over hundreds of years. But unlike my ancestors, I'll drop ass whippings. Unlike my ancestors, I'm not going to be tolerant of it. I'm not going to allow the energy. But as working for a foreigner white man, but a white man nonetheless, you know how it is. I'm forced to stay in this area of where it's white populated. I get it is financial because white people try to keep their money in white people areas. Any other race, they're gonna keep it. There's an invisible segregation if you really pay attention to economics. That's again why they keep you ignorant. Like, pay attention to economics, pay attention to private banking, pay attention to how things function in economics through business, funding, pay attention, and you'll realize that there's subtle slights in racism that affects how everything functions. And so I do get it, there is actual profit zone, but it's troublesome because I have to deal with these energy vampires and these weird, it's super, like, I never knew this level of insecurity existed, but super insecure motherfuckers. But it is what it is. Like, on the light side of it, you have one dude that was just normal. And here's the thing, whether he's openly rejected or the female is openly rejected or not, the ones that are confident to themselves are rejected by white people. White confident people are rejected by the herd hive mind. It's something I've noticed. It's everywhere, but it's heavily in the white society. Like, if you're confident, it matches energies. It radiates off of you. And the guy was just in his peace, in his own zone, and everybody else is hive mind together and moving and being weird and swarming. You know how people that are spying and not minding their business look when they're hunchbacked and not peeping around corners and they're doing, like, that's what most of them were doing. And then you have the ones that were just normal, which was like one in Walmart, and then one when I got some like avocado toast at Dunkin'. One female was flirting too, and maybe because she saw me staring at her bubble. But that's besides the point, because female nature and the way they act and interact is different from males. So you have to measure things differently. You can't cookie cut everybody into one thing, regardless of how you describe it. But the other one, like, because I say this is different, I've had it in my hometown in Houston, where racism isn't prevalent, even though it's right now kind of passive. You'll have, if I don't give attention to a female, I got the same response that I got up here. Like, oh, I was flirting with you and I'm giving you attention and you're not gonna give me attention back? Like, how? And then she became outright ugly and short and just passive-aggressively disrespectful. And that's just generally the energy you get. Most dudes won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But the way women act when you disregard them, like, oh, okay, you were hitting on me, I'm gonna move you off to the side because I got other important shit to do, is the way most white people act when they're passive-aggressively racist. That's the best way I can put it. That's why I say white people in general in the Western world are the females of all species. And if you're truthful, you can admit it. You're like, yeah, they are. Like, only females, the female scorn is the most dangerous. They'll do shit that don't benefit them and don't benefit you, but it destroys everybody, and they'll just do it just because. They're the females of everyone. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep it short.